Mark my words, there's a movie in the Poohniverse that is about to become one of the biggest hits of 2026.
All of Ashdown will burn.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Scott and I'm your host today and every other day as I take you through news and reviews in the world of horror. Today I'm talking all about Pinocchio Unstrung, the newest movie in the Poohniverse, and why it is going to be a smash hit. I know, it's mental. But before I get into that, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell, because if you like horror like me, you're going to love everything we do here. So, Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey spawned an entire generation of twisted childhood stories being turned into horror movies. So we've had Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, we've had Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2, we've had a Popeye movie, we've had a Mickey Mouse movie, and pretty much any big name that's becoming public domain IP, horror directors and horror writers are jumping all over them to turn them into the next scare factory. We're going to focus mainly on the Poohniverse, which they do need to rename because it's a terrible name for a universe. Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey was objectively a bad movie. It was fun and goofy, the masks were terrible, and it just looked like garbage. But because it was the first in this generation, it set a precedent and it made a ton of money. And with that money, they made Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 and completely retconned everything they'd done before, making it a movie within a movie, which was incredibly cool and incredibly meta. Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 really upped their game. It was a solid slasher, and I'm not talking a solid slasher for this type of universe. It was a solid slasher movie. It had cool characters like Tigger. Tigger was effectively Freddy Krueger as a tiger, and he was awesome. Winnie the Pooh was almost like a Jason Voorhees style character, and it delivered on scares, it delivered on brutality, and it delivered on gore. And to my shock, I gave it a really high score when I reviewed it. Jump forward into their next movie, which is Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare. The wheels fell off. I didn't like this movie. I know some people did. It just didn't work for me. It didn't feel in keeping to the movie that we'd had before, and I kind of fell off and lost interest in the Poohniverse after that. We've got Bambi Reckoning coming, and I'm kind of half interested in that. But there is a movie coming next year. We were due to get it this year, but it got pushed back, and that is Pinocchio Unstrung. I'm excited, and there's a couple of reasons why I'm excited. One, it's got one of the biggest budgets they've had within this universe. It's got a $500,000 budget, which isn't a lot, but if you look at the movies they've done before, they know how to stretch their budget and make it work for them. It has an awesome, and I mean top level practical effects team working on this. They've released some early footage of Pinocchio himself. He looks terrifying. He's all animatronic and puppetry, and he's real world practical effects, which is going to be infinitely better than CGI. And even in the sterile environment of their workshop, he looks fucking scary. And that then put into a world which is dark and miserable and gross, he's gonna be brilliant. But that's not the only reason why I think this is going to be a hit. If you were going to cast any member of horror royalty to play Jiminy Cricket, who could you possibly pick of? All the names, all the wonderful people within the world of horror. I never would have thought Robert Englund would be the man to voice Jiminy Cricket in this horror retelling of Pinocchio. But he is. And the character looks like Freddy Krueger. Like, look at the images they released. It's almost like they drew pure inspiration from that character. I've always been a big advocate for Robert Englund to do more voice work. He's getting older now. Active acting roles where he's running and jumping and doing shit like that's a thing of the past. But his voice is so distinct and so wonderful, especially for horror characters. Like, I've always wanted an animated Freddy series with him voicing Freddy Krueger. But I think this fits his character and his personality really, really well. I think this is good fun for him, and he's going to add a level of credibility to a franchise that's kind of had no big stars in it. I like the fact that Pinocchio is the villain, and that in turn means Jiminy Cricket as his conscience is also going to be bad. It's going to be Jiminy Cricket who's telling Pinocchio what to do and what not to do, which means we're basically getting miniature evil Freddy Krueger whispering into an animatronic puppet's head and telling it what to do. Like, what's not awesome about that? I'm genuinely excited, and I think this is going to be, don't get me wrong, this is not going to win Oscars. This is going to be a goofy, top level slasher movie, and it's going to be a load of fun. And I think this is one that a couple of people are going to see, and it's going to pick up massive momentum, and this is going to be a huge hit. But what do you think? How do you feel about the Poohniverse, despite the name being terrible? Are the movies in this universe you really enjoy? Are you excited for this? Are you excited for Bambi the Reckoning? Whatever it is, drop it in the comments down below. I do read them all, and I try to reply to every single one as well. And until next time, have a wonderful week. See you all soon.